Welcome everybody. This is Jolmer.
Hello everybody.
Hi. And Jolmer is our guest for today. We will do the preparation session together, and then Jolmer will fill out MindSonar, and we will do the interpretation session. So Jolmer, can you say something about yourself? You're a process technologist, I understand?
Yes, I'm a process technology. At the moment I'm working in the coffee industry, where we produce instant coffee, and I'm responsible for the plant and process technology over there. Furthermore, I'm a sailor, so I do a lot of sailing. I have 3 boats.
3 boats?
Three boats.
That's a lot of boats.
Yeah,
different sizes.
Different sizes. Go fast.
All right, so I can see that's your passion, right?
That's my
sailing,
passion.
right?
My passion. Yes.
So, Jolmer, I understand that you want to move on to a management position.
Yeah.
And you have you've done several job interviews for that.
Yes.
And somehow it seems you cannot really convince the group to take you as a manager.
Yeah, to take me as a manager. Sometimes in the first session of application, the conversation went very well, and they phone back, and second application round, and then in the second application round, the conversation stuck, or I really don't know what's it, but then you get the feeling, it didn't went very well, and also during the conversation it was difficult to change the conversation in such a way to convince the people, so I'm the right guy,
right.
hire me.
Right, because that's what we were talking about before we started filming, is that sometimes it seems like a job hiring committee doesn't even know exactly themselves what's wrong. So you get these vague descriptions.
Vague descriptions, and sometimes you're not convincing enough. And, but we talk about, you ask a question about it, what do you think about this technique? Develop people is really a passion, to develop people and see them growing.
Okay. So we're going to see if MindSonar can help you grow a little.
Yeah, grow a little.
Respect, right?
Yeah.
So, Jolmer, so how would you then phrase the question that you would like to answer with MindSonar?
What's the difference between the application conversations? One is convincing and the other is not convincing. So when I'm really convincing, so at what state of mind should I be to be convincing?
Okay, so that would mean we would need to do 2 profiles, one for the convincing and one for the unconvincing.
Or maybe when I'm not convincing, then it's also. But I know from my experience that I have some conversations in application that I'm really convincing. But I've also experienced that I'm not convincing. Yes. So what's the difference between the two?
Well, we might start by analyzing an unconvincing example, and then you can maybe even refer from that what is different there from your convincing examples. Okay. So then the question is, what is happening in the unconvincing job interviews? But I think also with a view to what could I then change to make them
convincing.
Better, make me more convincing there.
More convincing, yes.
All right. So how can I be more convincing in a job interview? What can I do to be more convincing?
To be more convincing, yes.
Now you are ordering this MindSonar yourself. There's no boss or there's no organization, and your goal is what you just stated. So we've covered that. Sometimes if people, if somebody else is, ordering the MindSonar, then we need to discuss, what the different interests are. But in your case, it's simple. You are both the client and the person giving the order.
Yeah.
So, what will happen when you start filling out MindSonar is first the system will ask, for what situation shall we analyze your metaprograms, and then of course your answer is unconvincing job interviews.
Yes.
So keep it short. Because later on the program is going to make questions with this text. So if you say, well, sometimes I don't function so well, and if you make it too long, then it can't make sense. So keep it. Then next thing it's going to do is it's going to ask, what do you find important?
Yes.
So that's your criteria, your values, and also it's going to ask for the opposites. So if you find, well, for instance, what do you find important when you are in an unconvincing job interview?
When I'm in an unconvincing job interview, what's important is how can I change the conversation so it will be convincing.
Right. So changing conversation, which you would fit
changing the conversation.
So that's important, and then that's also going to ask what's the opposite of that. So what would be the opposite of changing the conversation?
Yeah, keep the status quo.
Keep the status quo.
Keep it as it is.
All right. Okay. Opposite, or maybe Mm-hmm. I have to withhold myself from filling this in because it's your criteria, of course. Okay. So then the system will present a whole bunch of questions. Are you thinking more like this or more like this?
Okay.
You have to move a little ball to answer them.
Yeah. Okay.
It's also going into what type of criteria are these that you have in this situation. So you divide balls over buckets to express the type of criteria that is, what is connected to your criteria, your values.
Okay.
Well then, after you finish, normally I would download it and email it to you, but now that you're here anyway, I will print it and we'll immediately do the interpretation session, and then probably also a coaching session to make the desired changes. Well, you have a right to privacy, so I'm not allowed to share this with anyone without your permission.
Okay.
So if your boss calls me and says, Jorma was with you, why don't you send this profile to them? No, I can't do that. Jorma, do you have any questions?
No.
No? Okay. So it's important to remember two more things. One is, fill it out, answer the questions for what it's like now, not how you would like it to be. It's the present state, not the desired state. So we'll get into how you would like it to be later, but right now you feel it as you experience these interviews with all their, pluses and minuses. And also, it's important to concentrate for a while. So make sure you don't have to. You're not hungry. You don't have to go to the bathroom and stuff like that. Why is that? Because it also calculates your response times. So if you would, for instance, go eat a sandwich in between, the response time for that item is sky high. But the system does have some, checks and balances to take care of that. But it's better to just, do it in one session. It will take about 40, 50 minutes.
Okay.
Okay, so are you ready?
I'm ready.
Okay, so let's go do it.
Okay.